All right, I think this is going to work. All right, here we go. Welcome everybody to Ask Joe. We had some technical difficulties, which meant it wouldn't connect to the internet. So welcome everybody to Ask Joe. We do this each and every Monday at noon. It's your chance. Alanka, hello, welcome everybody. Your chance to kind of jump on here and spend about 35 minutes as we dive into some on-the-spot coaching. Your opportunity to either ask questions, you could be a fly on the wall and just kind of learn a few things. Feel free to comment. Feel free to, again, you can ask questions that are through the comment section, or you can also just simply message me, and that way you remain anonymous. But we got a lot of questions that people submitted, so very, very good. You can pre-submit questions. So there's a lot going on. So let me just pull up my feed here so I can kind of stay here. We had to switch up some things. We had some technical difficulties. And there we go. All right. Good. So, once again, welcome everybody. And today we're going to do a topic. I figured we'd do something a little bit different here as we wait for questions to roll in. Make sure you say hi when you pop in. And again, it's about 35 minutes. We have some really great questions about life, love, business. We stay away from politics and things like that. We just want to kind of keep things positive and feeling good, but also offer some coaching for you too. So, I do want to put this out there. Here's the question. And the question is, why do I always fall short on my, well, not the question, it's the topic. Why do I always fall short on my goal, and how do I change it, or something like that? I kind of forget what I wrote. So for 21 years, I've been doing this coaching thing. And if I boil things down to why do people come into coaching, why they're interested in what we do and what in our seminars and our events and our coaching, is that we very often feel stuck in an area of our lives that we I don't know why I just did that. There we go. Let me just kill that. Sorry, guys. That we feel stuck in what we do, that there's something that we want in life, and we feel that thing that we're trying to go after in life that we can't get, right? So, and usually what happens, hello Mary, welcome. So we want something in our lives, we try to go after it, and we don't get it. And how do we deal with that, right? You can't hear me? Can anybody else hear me? Can you just give me a word before I kind of launch in here? Ken, Tom, if anybody watching, can you just give me a thumbs up that my audio is working? Before I launch into something, I have to repeat everything. And Kim. Oh, okay, Mary, thank you. All right, so turn your volume up, Alanka, right? So let me begin again. So we're going to start with the topic here. And the topic is that very often people come to us because they feel stuck, because there's something they want in life that they can't get, right? So what prevents people from getting what they want? How do you kind of overcome that and get past it, right? So I think one of the main reason is people feel very impotent with their goal or their dream. In other words, they don't feel very passionate. It's like New Year's Eve. People will reach out and they'll say things like, I want to lose weight. I want to get healthy. I want to do something. It said New Year's resolution. And it sounds great. On some level, they want it, but the question is how much do they want it, right? And they take some action and they really don't get results. So here's the reason why. Number one is people set a dream, they set a goal, and it's uninspiring. For example, let me do this, right? If I said, I'll give you $1 if you strip down naked and you run down Main Street, right? Wherever Main Street is for you. How many people would take that offer for $1, right? Probably not many, right? There might be someone there because they just love to get naked, right? And like, oh, I'll do it, right? But for the rest of the people, like, no, for $1, it's not worth it. Well, if I say I give you $10, how many people, right? $50, $100, $1,000, $10,000, right? $100,000. I guarantee more and more people will say yes. $1 million cash. Here's my wheelbarrow. It's filled with cash. It's $1 million. All you gotta do is take off your clothes and run, right? And majority of people, at some point, the more I increase the amount of money I would give you, the more people would do it. Why? Because it's a bigger goal. It's a bigger pile of money. For $1, like, I don't need to take off my clothes. I don't need $1 or even $10, right? But at some point, everybody would hit a threshold and they will go out there, they'll take off their clothes, they run naked down the street. Because it's a bigger goal. We set boring ass goals. We set goals that don't inspire us. I want to lose weight. Who's going to feel motivated to say, I want to lose weight? I want to, or this one, this is my favorite. I want to become financially independent. Like, what the hell does that mean, financially independent? They don't have a number to it. They don't have a connection to it. And they've never been financially independent. So they convince themselves of something they want, but they don't believe they can get it. So they never close the gap. So the second thing they do, if they set the goal, is they either look for social proof, other people doing it, or times in the past where they've done it. So they look at social proof and they go, well, Debbie did it, but they'll always give it a caveat. Debbie did it because of this, right? Or they'll say, well, I've never done this, and they'll come up with their stories. So they look outward for evidence to why they can achieve it. They don't get it. That diminishes the goal even more. Then the worst thing they do is they take action. But how is action bad, right? Because they take little action. I call it the Costco buffet. I miss the Costco buffet, guys. Costco buffet is when I used to take Emily to the Costco's and I would feed her, going through the whole, going around to all the little samples, right? You're not really committed to anything. You're just sampling. So they take a little bit of action and they get lousy results. They stick their toe in the water. So they buy a book. They buy this planner thing. I don't get it. I'm not against getting a planner, but this whole thing like, oh, I bought a new planner and the planner is going to get me organized and get my life going. No, it's a freaking book of paper, right? Pen, paper. This works just as good as any planner. If you buy a planner and you like it, I'm not saying don't, it's a waste of money, but that's not going to move the needle any, right? It's not going to push you further. All that's going to do is lower the amount of money you do have, get you excited because, oh, my new planner here, I get to put stickers on here, where I got all these color pens, look at this, right? And I get so much more organized, but at the end of the day, you're in the same place with a lot of color pens in a book that you don't use, right? So then when you take some action, you don't get the result. The brain goes, see, I knew you would fail. Right? That little voice inside your head, I knew you would fail. And your brain goes, yep, you're right. And then the next time you take even less action and you'll spiral downward, right? So how do you change that? Number one, you got to get emotion. Look, here's how you sell to anybody, right? Get them emotionally attached. We are wired to buy emotionally and then to justify logically. Now, some people say, I only buy logically. Yes, I know, but they're lying to themselves because we're not wired that way, okay? We buy emotionally, then we justify that product or that purchase logically. And we have to do the same thing to ourselves. See, we try to logically get ourselves connected to why we should achieve that big goal. Well, I deserve it. Well, everyone deserves it, right? Or I could help my family. Well, sure, but if you're not emotionally attached or believe that you can do it, you're not going to follow through on that. So first thing you got to do is get yourself emotionally attached to it. I'm going to help you with that. Then logically try to figure it out, right? So how do you get yourself emotionally attached? So the first thing you got to do is write it down, right? Write it down as if it's already done. And you got to write it like here's one of the challenges when people do goals. They'll do like set and forget. They'll write it down somewhere and they'll forget about it. Or worse, they write it on a sticky pad, right? Be financially free. And they'll stick it somewhere, right? And they go, okay, it's good. Right? And they'll hang it somewhere and they'll walk by it in the first few days. They go, oh, this is great. Yeah. Right. And they'll do it a little bit more. Yeah. But then eventually it just gets forgotten. It gets deleted. That's what the brain does. It deletes information. Right. And you might as well just crumple up and throw it away because you're not going to achieve that goal. So one of the things I've been doing now for a while is I write my goals down every morning and every night. Okay, I just write it. I don't write anything else. I just write the goal. Why? Because I wanted to stay focused on my brain, right? Because right now is so important to stay focused on the things that's going to give you the results that you want. And it's not just about money. It could be your body, it could be your health, it could be your spirituality, it could be your relationship with your kids, relationship with your spouse, relationship with your girlfriend, finding a relationship, getting out of a relationship. Whatever you focus on, you're going to get. So I'm writing down my goals every day as if they're already done. So I'm not writing, I will be financially independent or I will have a net worth of, it's like, no, I have a net worth, right? And the reason why you write it in the present tense, like it's already done, is because your brain doesn't know the difference of something you vividly imagine and actually takes place. It's a freaking computer. It doesn't care. So if you tell your brain you've done something, your brain's going to start figuring out, oh, this is cool. I must have done it. How did I do it? And that's reverse engineering how your brain works. The second thing is you got to get emotionally attached to it now. Now that you got it top of mind and focus, you got to really, like again, get emotionally attached to it. So there's 3 questions for that. The first question is, what is the pain of not getting it? So what's been the pain, right? So let's go back to money. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, and what is that doing to your body, to your health, to your relationship, right? How does it feel waking up every day with that angst in your stomach, looking at your email, making sure you don't have a notice from your bank saying that your account has been overdrafted? And you got to dig deep. Now, the challenge is we don't like that pain. It makes us feel uncomfortable, right? Well, you can't have both. You can't have the gold without feeling the pain. Right? That pain is not meant to beat you up, but it's meant to serve you. So you got to go deep enough so that you feel it viscerally. Number 2, describe the pleasure of getting it. Again, we got to go overboard on this, right? We have to really get emotionally attached and get specific. So you can't just like, I want to help people. What does that mean, right? Like, go deep. What will it do for you? How will it impact their lives? How is it serving your purpose, your legacy, your footprint? And then last is, what is the pain of not achieving it? Most of us probably heard the term FOMO by now. FOMO is a fear of missing out. And it drives buyers. If you do anything, you put an urgency or a deadline clock on it, and intuitively people want to buy it before they miss out on it. And so you can use that. You can use that same mechanism, that FOMO, against yourself, saying, what is the pain of missing out on this thing that I really, really want? The second thing is you got to get a coach, you got to get a mentor, you got to get some accountability, right? And this isn't a commercial for me and what I do. If you're interested, you just go to coachjoewhite.com and you can fill out the form. I'll get in touch with you. But what it is about is getting someone to hold your ass to it. It's hard doing it on your own. It's hard because we make up excuses and we believe it. I'm too tired. I don't have the energy. I don't have the time. I don't have the money. I don't have this. Unless you have someone saying bullshit, right? You're just lying to yourself. Get focused, get on track, and get your ass in gear. It's too easy to fall back. It's too easy to give up. It's too easy to take your foot off the gas. And third is you got to take action. Now, let's talk about action for a second before we get into our questions that those who have sent us, right? If you have any questions for anything, make sure that you put them in the comment section, please, right? All action is not the same. In other words, you can go to the gym, but not sweat. You can go to the gym and not burn any calories. I'm sure you can go to the gym and walk around and burn some calories, but you're not going to maximize that. So the action that we need to take is that massive, consistent, persistent action. It really comes down to taking that full-blown action and doing it with everything that we got, staying committed to that and staying persistent through that process. Because again, let's go back to what I said earlier, it comes down to dabbling. And dabbling doesn't work, right? The number one reason why people don't follow through on the action, they just don't take enough action. They quit before they get the result. And they give up, And when they give up, again, it kicks into what I said earlier, that the brain says, oh no, right? You can't do this, you're a failure, you're no good, and you run that craptastic pattern and you don't get the results. So at the end of the day, you have a little, nope, where is it? I threw it away. But you have a Post-it, right, that you can wear around and you can say, I tried, and you can have your stories, but you're still in the same place that you were before. All right, so let's get in some questions. Let me say hi to some people. Hello, Sean, Carol, Gabby, Diane, Ola, Connie, Jessica, Frank, Heather, D, Meg, who else? Susan, Kathy, Priscilla, Kimberly, welcome everybody. So this is Ask Joe. So it's your opportunity to ask any question. So if you have a question, put it in the comment section. If you want to remain private, send me a message. Real simple here. So we do put a form out. So just check our Facebook page. It's one of those jot forms. You can just fill out your question. And easiest way is if you think of something during the week and you don't want to, you're scared you might forget about it, just go to our Facebook page, any page, and you'll find it. It'll be up top somewhere. Click on it, and I'll put it in the link here. Also, I'll put if you are interested in finding more about coaching, just go to Coach Me. Call Joe White. There we go. CallJoeWhite.com. And that will bring that up there for you. I'll put that in the comment section also. All right, let's get to some questions. Is this a good time to start my business? Absolutely. This is a great time to start your business, okay? Why? Because everything's in flux, right? Everything's going to be different when we come back. How we buy, how we sell, how we interact with people. This is probably the best time. In moments of chaos, I always think it's the best time for change. It's an amazing phenomenon. When we do our seminar, the Ultimate Breaking Through the Barrier is our day-and-a-half program, firewalk, life-changing, right? The Wednesday, Thursday, Friday before, usually it's the 3 days before, this is an industry standard, about 25% of people, all of a sudden, they get sick. It's amazing. People get sick the day before the seminar, right? I guess, I'm a virus, right? It's for 21 years it's been going on. It's amazing how many people's family members get sick or people just suddenly die. Friends of a friend, you need to be there, right? Are some of those cases legit? I'm sure. Are most of them bullshit? I am sure, okay? So, and sometimes when we get them on the phone, I'm just going through so many things. I think I need to come when my head's clear. I'm like, no, the time to come is now, right? Because when your head's clear, it's not going to be that important to you. So now is the best time. So if you want to start a business, I think it's a great time. Obviously, a little bit is industry specific, right? Certain industries are going to take a long time to come back. Other industries are going to come back quicker. So be smart about it, right? If, you can kind of use some online searches out there. You can go to, you can search, oh God, what's the word I'm looking for? I'll put it in the comment section. I'm sorry. It's Google, library, Google, you can do a search on Google searches. It'll come to me in a second. And that will tell you what's relevant. Okay. What people are searching for. So in other words, if you're doing like shoe repair and you see how many people are doing searching for shoe repair, probably not going to be the highest, right? Maybe that's not the business you get into. But if you do online sales, online marketing, right? It's through the roof right now because that's where everybody's transitioning to. So, make sure it's smart with that. Hey, Mary, how are you? Okay, next one. What do I need to become to become a coach? In all honesty, you need nothing. It's not a license. It's not a practice profession. Yes, there's companies out there, they love, and federations, they love to kind of spin it like, first you need to be certified. Now you need to be accredited. That's all bullshit. You really don't. You need obviously a business license, talk to a lawyer, right? I'm not a lawyer, right? But get your legal paperwork in. But you could open your door right now and call yourself a coach. Now, would you be successful at it without tools, without training? Probably not, right? And, would you really serve by misrepresenting yourself, saying you can help someone, maybe not be qualified? But you don't need that. So we run a program called Life Coaching Certification, but there's so many different types of coaches out there and so many different types of trainings. Unfortunately, I think many of them are awful. Some of them are really, really, really good. My suggestion is go and talk to them, is talk to students who are actually making money at it, and find a modality that fits with you and how you want to help people, right? Because maybe our approach isn't your approach, right? Maybe learning NLP is. Maybe it's more doing Reiki work and chakra work. Maybe that's how you want to impact people. So it's such a huge highway. And even though all change happens the same way, find a way that fits you and where you want to go the best, okay? Next question we have, if you guys have any questions out there, just drop them in the comment section for me. I would love to answer them live. If you want to remain anonymous, just send me a Facebook message and we can do it that way as well too. So my next question that someone sent in is, what do you believe the single most important step for results are? Well, I said this earlier, right? Is action. It's always action, but not any action. It's massive, consistent, persistent action. However, there's a step before that, and that's called mindset. It's Think and Grow Rich. I'm going to butcher this probably because I'm live here. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. I think I'm pretty close about that, right? But it's true. You can take all the action in the world, but if you don't believe you can attain that goal or achieve that result, you're never going to push through the most uncomfortable part of that journey. So you think of it as like an arc, and you'll start here, you'll get some results and you fall down, you get some results and you fall down. And eventually there's always that bottom where I should have been here, I could have, or something changed. For many businesses or individuals, it's what we're going through right now. And that is when everything kind of begins to shift, where people get weeded out of the process. So if you are committed to your goal, you have to work on the mindset. And there's so many great books on mindsets. They really, really are. But the biggest problem with that is, I call it shelf help. People buy a book and they put it on the shelf and they don't read it. And worse, they don't apply it. The key to any success, especially with shaping your mindset, is taking daily action and keeping your mind plugged in. Okay? So for example, you'll take a shower today, you'll brush your teeth, you might brush your hair, I guess you should, right? You might, you'll have meals today. That's all part of your daily rituals. But what are you doing daily to stay sharp mentally, to stay focused on those things that are most important to you? What are you doing daily to grow here, your emotional intelligence? And successful people will feed that part, will feed that mindset, keep it sharp all the time. And those who are less than successful or unsuccessful, they'll take, it's like going to the gym one time every 3 months versus going to the gym every day. Who's going to get more results? So we can't, action's where the rubber meets the road, but mindset is where it all begins. So without mindset, you won't take the action. So I remember real quick here, I was training a sales manager. And he asked me what was the best type of salesperson to hire. Somebody who has skills and has not been successful, or someone who has a great attitude and no skills. And I said, it's easy. I would take the person with no skills and the right attitude, because you can always teach them skills. On the other side of that, if you're working with somebody who has a lot of skills and didn't achieve results, it's a mindset issue. And you can teach them more skills, but if they're not being successful because they're not following through. And they're not following through, they don't have the right mindset. You can say that's called discipline, but what drives discipline is mindset. Okay, so there we go. Next question. If you have any questions, guys, drop them in the comment section or feel free to message me and we can answer them that way as well also. All right, so next question that was sent in is, what am I reading? I read multiple books at one time. Jeannie Marie, hello. One of the books I'm reading right now is, I forget the title of it, is the Tyson Fury book. The heavyweight champion of the world, the linear heavyweight champion of the world, who destroyed Deontay Wilder. And actually, I just pre-ordered his new book. It's, I don't know, it was like $40. And it was autographed. So I'm real excited about that. And I can't wait to, I think it comes out in like December or something like that. But I'm like, yeah, I'll get it, right? So I'm a big fan of not Deontay Wilder. I do like Deontay Wilder, even though he's problematic as a boxer. But I'm a big fan of Tyson Fury. He is someone who had everything and lost everything and found his way back. I'm a sucker for a good redemption story. So I'm reading Tyson Fury. I'm also reading The Complete Peaceful Warrior Way. It's a Dan Millman book. And Dan has been one of those authors that has a huge impact on me. And the book is, his original book is The Way, the Peaceful Warrior. If you haven't read it, read the book. It's an amazing book. Also, you can watch a movie, but don't watch a movie to read the book, right? Even though Nick Nolte is amazing in it, right? But the movie's only a third of the movie. So, read the book and then watch the movie and enjoy good old Nick. Barbara, how are you? So, so that's what I'm reading right now. Tyson Fury and Dan Millman, right? Very interesting. Peaceful warrior and the guy that beats the shit out of people for a living. So next question is, how do you handle things when you just want to give up? Have you ever thought about giving up? Well, the answer is yes, right? I've definitely thought about giving up multiple times. And if you talk to people who are successful and they tell you they've never hit a moment where they wanted to give up, probably they're lying to you or themselves. Look, there's hardly anything more challenging than wanting something so much, right? Almost at the level of an obsession, and throwing yourself into it, your time, your money, and your energy, and you're unable to achieve it. Right? Or you're not getting the results. And no matter what you try, you're not getting results. But I think that's when God, or whatever you believe, I think that's one of those checkpoints where they ask, do you really want it, or are you just asking? Right? If you're just asking for it, then you're not going to get it. But if you're willing to go through the fire, the wilderness, right, and come out on the other side, that's where all the gold is. That's where all the glory is. So, I've thought of it, right? What did I do? Well, the first thing is, believe it or not, I've allowed myself to feel it, right? I think too many times, too much of this personal development junk, like avoid negative feelings, be positive, right? No, you never want to stay in negative feelings, but let's be honest, they're there for a reason. So I acknowledge that feeling. I acknowledge that, I'm very much disappointed that my expectations aren't met. And that hurts me. And I don't see that as a negative. In a way, if I spin it the right way, it's really a positive because it shows me how much I care. Now, I don't beat myself up over it. That's the watermark, right? If you beat yourself up over it, then, then you might as well just quit. But I allow myself to feel it. I usually give it a time limit. And then I adjust my focus and I click it in place, right? The next thing I do is I ask myself, right? Because I realize what I'm feeling is my body trying to tell me something, right? And I got to figure out what that message is. And I'm not sure what that message is. So I ask myself, do I need to change either what I'm doing, why I'm doing, or how I'm doing it? So let me explain, right? The question is, what do I need to change? Do I need to change the what, the why, or the how? It's going to be one of those three things in any situation. So what I'm doing is maybe I need to change vehicles. So if you're sitting there and you hate your freaking job, maybe you need to change vehicles, right? What do I need to change? What I do, right? I don't enjoy this anymore. I don't enjoy where I do it anymore. I don't enjoy the people anymore. I don't enjoy how things change anymore. And that's fine, right? Everything in life is not meant to last forever. Or how I'm doing it, right? Right? How is like it could be a tangible thing, like a different role in what you're doing, or a different approach to what you're doing, right? The third thing is why. I got to change my why. And that goes back to what I said earlier, mindset. And I look at those three things and I journal about it and I ask myself to be honest and hard and difficult questions. I'm like, is it really time for me to give up? Is it really time for me to say, you know what, I'm done with this? And I remember once I asked that question, my brain goes, yes. I'm like, okay, let me dig a little bit deeper, right? And it really wasn't the what. It was really how and the why. That's what needed to be adjusted. And what you're going to get is point of adjustments. And that is essential, right? So ask yourself that, right? And then whatever I come up with, right? I hate being in the middle. The middle is the single worst place to be in. That unresolved spot. Should I do it? Should I not do it? Should I stay? Should I go? If you've ever been in a relationship, I remember like in high school, I was dating a girl. And we had this big fight before she went to, I don't know where the hell she went to, like probably at Cancun or some shit like that with her family. And she's like, I am going to think about it. And I'll let you know my answer if I want to stay with you. Now, looking back, I now know what she was doing. No, she was breaking up with me so she could do what she want guilt-free down there and then try to get back up with me when we got back, right? Right. I was naive, right, back then. But hey, I loved her. I thought I did, right? Anyway, I was like 20 some years old, right? So maybe it wasn't high school. Maybe it was college, right? But I was like 21 years old, 19, somewhere around that age, right? So, but I really thought, like that, and that week she was away. Oh my God, the thoughts that went through my head, the angst I felt. I was I doing drugs? I was drinking back then. I was drinking. Maybe pot. I wasn't into the hard stuff. I didn't move to New York yet. Right. So it was the worst week. It felt like a month or multiple months. It's because I was in the middle, right? I was in this place where I didn't have any control and I wasn't broken up. We weren't together. It's kind of like what's going on right now. If they just said, hey, September 1st, everything's going to reopen. We'll be disappointed because we lost the summer, but at least we could focus on it, right? And not having a definitive endpoint. So when you do the what, why, how question, once you come down to your answer, you have to immediately go to resolution and say, you know what? I'm done. I'm done with everything in the past. Draw the line, put it down, and focus on moving forward. If you're still trying to negotiate, still trying to figure something out, A, you didn't do a good enough job with the questions, or B, you're afraid to move forward. And that will be a death spiral. So once you kind of figure out the who, what, why, the next part, guys, is to really figure out, is to get to resolve and be committed. So in other words, if I'm in, I'm out, I'm out. I'm very much that way. Once I decide I'm in, I go all in. And I'm not out. I'm not in the middle very long. I'm either in or out, right? I just don't like being in the middle. It's very disempowering. And then lastly, you take that massive, consistent, persistent action. Must be the theme of the day. Massive, consistent, persistent action. So if you're out there and you want to give up and you're not sure and it's something that you love or you're passionate, you're not getting the results, here are the steps. Number one, acknowledge to yourself. Don't beat yourself up. It's okay to feel that way. Everyone does, right? Number two, you can't stay there. You got to change it. You got to do the how, what, or why question. What do I need to change? Is it the what, the why, or the how? Once you get that resolved, draw the line and put your full energy, take massive, consistent, persistent action towards what you want. So that's that question. It's a lot, but I thought there was a lot there. Let me say hi to a few people as they jumped on here. Guys, if you have any questions, we got a little bit of time left. Feel free to drop them in the comment section. D writes, love Dan Millman, Peaceful Warrior. Yes. Sean writes, great book. Yes. Michael, hello. Dave. Mr. Moore Seal, if you need your parking lot sealed, you must call Moore Seal. He's the only person in the world that can do it the quality they do it. My good friend Jerry, how are you? Jen, welcome. So if you have any questions, once again, put them in here. We do this every Monday. I'm going to drop some links in case you join us late and catch it back. The Facebook one that it just escapes me. I'll remember it soon, where you can kind of Google if you want to start your own business, what's being searched for. Also, if you're interested in a complimentary coaching session, kind of figure out how you achieve and repeat even more, I'll drop that in there. That is just called joewhite.com. Like, it's so simple to remember. So the next question is, I am so conflicted. I'm doing what I'm supposed to. I'm staying home, wearing the mask, but I have friends that saying I am living in fear. Am I? Interesting question. So this is not to debate anything, right? This is not to debate whether the quarantine is correct. It should be lifted. It should just be abolished, right? Because we all got to make individual choices. But sometimes your individual choices can impact other people. For example, if you're driving under the influence, you can kill yourself. But hey, I guess that's your choice, right? But in the process of killing yourself, you could hurt or kill someone else, and that's not right. So it's really, really a whole debatable thing. And I know businesses are suffering out there, right? I'm a capitalist at heart here when it comes down to this, right? And, and being told that you can't do what you've invested decades of your life into with really no help, right? So we got payroll protection. Some people got a loan. I mean, we applied for a disaster loan when it first was eligible. They just checked my credit yesterday. I got a notification that my credit was checked, right? I don't even know where that is, right? But we all have to kind of look at situation for ourselves. So are you living in fear? I don't think so, right? And if you have friends that tell you that you're living in fear, get rid of your fucking friends, because they're not friends. It's an individual choice, right? And again, I don't want to get down to the thin slicing of, how one can impact another, this and that, right? You got to do what's right for you, and you got to believe in what is important for you. So in your heart, if you believe this is right, I know people who do it and says, I have no fear of catching it. I just don't want to catch something and give it to someone else. And I want to do my part. So we all have different reasons to how we're handling this. And if you're on the other side and you think it should be, fine. I think that's cool too. I do think you have to be aware of people around you, right? Just because you're not wearing a mask and you don't think it is, you think it's safe, doesn't mean that it's 100% safe. So, how are my actions impacting other people? However, no, you shouldn't. And when we think about friends, wow, we live in a world today where we throw that. I mean, I don't know, I have like almost 5,000 Facebook friends. How many people really care about me, right? I mean, I'm gonna be honest here, right? How many people, if I would call right now and say, I need your help, would you be there, right? I know a few that would. Most of them, they wouldn't, right? And most of your friends on your Facebook probably won't either. The single most important thing in my life is loyalty, right? Loyalty. I may disagree with people. I may be pissed at you, but I am freaking loyal. And I demand the same thing back, right? I believe loyalty is it. I believe an agreement is an agreement. I believe a handshake is an agreement. I believe my word is my word. Maybe I'm old school like my dad, but I do believe in that. And so those people that I give that space to, is very selective. And you don't have to agree with me, but you can't cut me down, right? You can't, you can't make me feel bad for my choices and be my friend. There is definitely a way that we can say, hey, you may not like me hearing that, you may not like hearing this, but I need to share this because I love you. That's one thing. But belittling someone, right? Saying, oh, I fear, right? Like you're being fearful, right? As this person saying, or questioning someone's internal integrity, is not a friend. So for the person who wrote this, who feels conflicted, they're doing the right thing with the wearing the mask, staying at home, and she has some friends that are kind of like razzing her and saying she's being afraid and being scared. Find new friends. 7 billion people in this world. I don't know how many friends we're supposed to have in this world, but I do believe we should have some people that will love us and support us no matter what we do. They may not always like it, they may not always agree, but they're going to be there. And part of that relationship is not making you feel bad about who you are. All right? So that's my little tidbit on that. Kathleen, if you're in Florida and you need someone to train your ass, call her. All right. So any other questions? And I'm not coughing because I have, anything. I'm coughing because it is dry. I got my heat on here, so don't want to start a controversy. Any questions? All right. It's been a great 47 minutes so far. Thank you everybody for joining me. If remember, I'll drop some links in there. If you're interested in the coaching, just go to calljoewhite.com. Real simple, and we can help you out there. I'll put the links in for the Google Library. No, that's not it. It's Facebook Library. It's annoying me that I can't remember it. But we're back here every single Monday. Go check out our new website too, right? We have a whole new website. Check it out. We got some free stuff on there. It's really cool. If you find anything that's not working, let me know. Go to getlifecoaching.com. We just totally redesigned it. We hope you like it. And that's all I got. So thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day. And remember, rattle the cage. Bye-bye.